wakisubiri kufikishwa mahakamani kujibu mashtaka. Mawakili wa washukiwa walikaribisha uamuzi huo na kuitaka polisi kuwakamata wahusika halisi wa shambulio hilo. Watu wawili walifariki dunia mnamo Julai tarehe 12 baada ya makundi hasimu ya vijana kupigana nje ya kanisa la St. Stephen's mjini Kisumu, ambako viongozi wa upinzani walikuwa wakihudhuria harambee.
The to continue holding the respondents in the cells pending plea-taking was withdrawn, and as such I will not dwell on this. I will not dwell on it, and order that the respondents be released immediately.
We call upon the police to arrest the true perpetrators of the crime that happened when we were at the church, and they should be made to answer, and we will not rest until they become accountable to the violence that was meted to the congregants at the church.
Our courts should not be used as a means of frustrating Kenyans into the criminal justice system. We've seen people lose their right to liberty because of lack of representation, and that is why we are here in good number to represent these innocent Kenyans, because if they did not have voices to speak for themselves, to speak for them, they would have ended up for longer time in court. We are urging our courts to bring back the kind of independence and accountability that courts were known for.
Mahakama Kuu ya Kisumu imemhukumu Shem Akuku Otieno mwenye umri wa miaka 30 adhabu ya kifo mara 4 baada ya kukiri makosa 4 ya mauaji. Akuku alimuua kwa kukata mkewe, mwanawe na jamaa zake wawili mwaka 2024 katika kijiji cha Milenye, Muhoroni, kabla ya kujisalimisha kwa polisi na kukiri kutekeleza mauaji hayo. Jaji Joe Omido alisema kuwa licha ya mahakama kuu ya juu kubatilisha hukumu ya lazima ya kifo, uzito wa kesi hiyo ulitosha kuhalalisha adhabu hiyo. Aliongeza kuwa ombi la msamaha la mshtakiwa halikulingana na uzito wa uhalifu huo ambao uliliacha jamii ikiwa na majonzi makubwa. Mahakama imempa Akuku siku 14 kukata rufaa dhidi ya hukumu hiyo.
Otieno alias Daddy is hereby sentenced to death. On counts 2, 3 and 4, the accused Shem Akuku Otieno alias Daddy is likewise sentenced to death on each of those counts. However, the execution of the sentences imposed on counts 2, 3 and 4 shall remain held in abeyance for as long as the sentence of death imposed on count 1 remains in force.
Na tukiachana na hayo, Jaji Mkuu Martha Koome ametoa wito kwa tume huru ya uchaguzi na mipaka ya IEBC pamoja na wadau wengine kuanza maandalizi ya mapema kwa uchaguzi mkuu wa mwaka 2027. Akizungumza kaunti ya Mombasa wakati wa mkutano wa Baraza la Kitaifa la Usimamizi wa Haki, Koome alisema taasisi zote zinapaswa kujiandaa kulinda katiba, kuhakikisha haki za kisiasa zinalindwa na migogoro ya uchaguzi inatatuliwa kwa haki na bila kucheleweshwa. Pia alisema mahakama imeimarisha upatikanaji wa haki kupitia huduma za kidijitali na inaendelea kuipa kipaumbele kesi za ukatili wa jinsia ili kuhakikisha waathiriwa wanapata haki kwa wakati.
Laws and structures, all the processes that are in place, the individuals and institutions to have their capacity built, to have upskilling, and even the Law Society of Kenya. One of our sub-themes in the annual conference we'll be having next month is on election preparedness, because we want all professionals to be able to play their actual role to ensure free and fair and verifiable elections.
As we look ahead to the 2027 general elections, the National Council on the Administration of Justice must continue early preparations. Election preparedness extends beyond electoral management. It encompasses the readiness of the entire justice sector to uphold constitutionalism, the rule of law.
Kiongozi wa chama cha DCP Rigathi Gachagua amesema eneo la Mlima Kenya litaungana chini ya kiongozi mmoja kuelekea uchaguzi mkuu ujao ili kuepuka kugawanyika kwa kura. Akizungumza wakati wa ziara katika maeneo ya Igembe Kati, Igembe Kaskazini na Igembe Kusini, Gachagua alimkosoa waziri wa utumishi wa umma Geoffrey Ruku kwa kile alichodai ni kuendeleza siasa za mgawanyiko kwa niaba ya Rais William Ruto. Pia aliapa kuhakikisha washirika wote wa Rais Ruto katika eneo la la Mlima Kenya wanaondolewa madarakani katika uchaguzi ujao, akiwataja kuwa wasaliti.
Bora unatuma Duale kutukana watu ya Mlima Kenya. Ati unasema sisi ni mafisi. Mimi nakwambia Kasongo, nikiwa hapa Igembe, nikiwa kiongozi ya Mlima Kenya, nikutangazie, umetuita mafisi tumekubali. Umetuita mafisi tumekubali. Wewe ujue mafisi ya Igembe wataamuka asubuhi mapema mwaka ujao, wakule wewe, wakutafune na wakumeze.
Kando na hayo, mahakama kuu imesitisha kwa muda kukatwa na kufunguliwa mashtaka kwa watu watatu wanaohusishwa na kuporomoka kwa jengo la Manzil Tower C katika eneo la South C Nairobi. Jaji Daktari Nabil Mokaya amewaruhusu Patrick Analo, David Kibui na John Gombe kupinga uamuzi wa idara ya DCI wa kufungulia mashtaka ya matumizi mabaya ya afisi kuhusiana na tukio hilo. Mahakama pia imezuia DCI kuwakamata au kuwashtaki watatu hao hadi ombi lao litakaposikizwa. Kesi hiyo itatajwa tena Septemba tarehe 16 mwaka huu kwa maelekezo zaidi. Na seneta wa Kericho Aaron Cheruiyot amedai kuwa wafuasi wa chama cha UDA walitishwa wakati wa uchaguzi mdogo wa ubunge wa Olkalau, akisema hali hiyo ilichangia kupungua kwa idadi ya wapiga kura. Cheruiyot alimshutumu aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua kwa madai ya kutuma wahuni kuvuruga uchaguzi na kuwatisha wapiga kura. Pia amemtaka Inspector Generali wa polisi Douglas Kanja kuchukua hatua dhidi ya wanaohusika. Aidha, Cheruiyot alidai kuwa Gachagua ndiye kinara wa wahuni nchini na akazitaka idara ya usalama kuwajibisha wote waliohusika na vitendo vya vitisho.
Tunajua ile maneno wewe ulifanya kule Olkalau, si ati kwamba hakukukuwa na wafuasi wa chama cha UDA, lakini wewe ulitumia goons na ukaenda ukiandika kwa milango ya wafuasi wa chama cha UDA, unaweka X na kutisha watu mpaka wakaogopa kupiga kura. Na hiyo tabia ulianza wakati ulianza kuita viongozi ati wale ambao wamekataa kukunga mkono unasema ni wasaliti wa jamii. Tungependa kusema hivi, Inspector General wa Police na IG na Waziri Murkomen, hapana patia huyu muhuni anaitwa Rigathi Gachagua nafasi ya kuumiza Wakenya wengine. Hiyo tabia mimi namuona ati analalamika kuhusu goons, yet the chief goon in the Republic of Kenya is none other than Rigathi. Hakuna mtu anapanga vijana kufanya fujo kama ile walikuwa wamefanya kule Olkalau, alafu wanatuambia ati apatiwe ruhusa.
Na hatimaye viongozi wa chama cha Wiper wamemtaka Rais William Ruto kumfuta kazi waziri wa afya Aden Duale kwa madai kuwa matamshi yake yalichochea chuki dhidi ya jamii ya Wakikuyu. Wakizungumza wakati wa ufunguzi wa ofisi ya chama hicho mjini Bungoma, wakiongozwa na mratibu wa Nakuru Moses Mulu, viongozi hawa walisema iwapo Duale hatajiuzulu, rais anapaswa kumuondoa afisini. Walisema matamshi hayo yanaweza kuchochea mvutano wa kikabila na kuhatarisha amani nchini.
We need your resignation kama CS wa health. Hatuwezi kuwa tunaongozwa na serikali ambayo inaleta mambo ya chuki katika makabila mengine. Kwa hivyo sisi kutoka siku ya leo tunakupatia ultimatum ya wiki moja. Kama utaweza kujiuzulu wewe Duale, kama utaweza kujiuzulu, tutakuja hapo na tuandamane mpaka utoke.
Kama mkae nyuma ya Kalonzo Musyoka, sisi kama chama cha Wiper tuna field candidates in all elective positions national. Hakuna mahali ambapo utakuwa na shida na utakuwa na nomination mzuri.
Naungana na wote wanaosema one term. Tuondoe serikali dhalimu katika uongozi. Turejeshe wananchi mamlaka.
Na mtazamaji, taarifa hiyo inatukamilishia awamu yetu ya saa 1 jioni, lakini usiende mbali kwani habari zaidi ni hapo saa 3. Jina langu ni Dahira Ahmed na kwaheri.
Business news on Radio Generation.
Good evening, I am Dahira Ahmed. Global oil prices have dropped sharply after hopes grew that a pause in attacks between the United States and Iran could lead to talks and a possible end to the conflict. Brent crude, the global oil benchmark, fell by more than 9% to below $88 a barrel, reversing last week's rise above $100. The drop came after the US ambassador to the United Nations said attacks on Iran had been paused for a second night to allow room for negotiations. And automotive sales executive Patrick Rianga has shared how he rose from earning 3,800 Kenyan shillings a month as a security guard to becoming one of Kenya's well-known car sales professionals. Speaking on Radio Generation's The Power Drive, Rianga said his success came through consistency, personal branding, and building trust with clients. He revealed that his breakthrough came after earning a 200,000 Kenyan shillings commission from selling a vehicle, prompting him to pursue a full-time career in the motor vehicle industry. Rianga urged aspiring entrepreneurs to protect their reputation, saying trust remains the foundation of long-term success in business.
The hard way that people go through in this industry, if you manage to eat a client's money and what goes out there, it starts from amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
That Patrick was given a client's money 50,000 na akakula. That is the beginning of your downfall, because now other dealers stop trusting you with their cars, and when other dealers stop trusting you with their cars, you're not able to sell because you cannot have every car. So when your trust starts failing, what goes around?
And that's all we have for business news. For more business updates, go on to radiogeneration.co.ke. Good evening. I am Dahira Ahmed.
That's the business on Radio Generation. This week, power was tested in the corridors of leadership, economies shook under pressure, and the voices of ordinary citizens demanded to be heard. From breaking decisions in high office to protests in the streets, from moments of triumph to tragedies that stopped us in our tracks, these are the headlines that shaped our week. And beyond the noise, we search for what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. And this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts.
A very good evening to you. How are you doing? This is Radio Generation. The time right now is 14 minutes past 7 o'clock. My name is Bungala Mbuvi. Na kama kawa kama Kane konaye Hanifa Adan. Hanifa, how are you doing?
Very well. How are you?
Leo naona you are you jogging to work?
No, it's cold.
It's cold, eh?
Extremely cold, yeah.
Yeah. When you say extreme, it sounds really bad. It's just I know it's really cold. It's not extremely cold.
It is.
But it's cold nonetheless.
Feel bassy.
Let us ask our guest in studio what he thinks. Allow me to introduce former presidential candidate. He's a musician as well. Ruben Kigame, sorry.
Yes.
Mwesh, habari yako bwana?
Lazima uongeze mwalimu.
Lazima niongeze mwalimu.
Bila hiyo haijakamilika.
Mwalimu Ruben Kigame.
Unapenda kufundisha sana.
Which is a good thing, by the way. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you feeling the cold?
Not in here. I mean, it's warm.
I mean, we have controlled climate in here.
You make it what you want it to be, right?
Yes.
No, it's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. The last time you were here, you came for my breakfast show with Siti Muga.
Yes. But you don't like the mornings anymore, right?
As a matter of fact, Mwalimu, I am doing both. But on Mondays only. Mondays I do both morning and evening.
Okay.
But Monday to Friday nonetheless, I'm still doing 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
All right.
Watu bado hawajazoea. This I think is my 4th month.
Congratulations.
You're still saying good morning.
Niko na nguvu, niko resilient.
Niko na nguvu.
Lazima. Lakini tunakukaribisha sana.
Asante sana. Thank you.
All right. Let's just get straight to business. And first of all, I'd like you to have you met Mwalimu Hanifa?
I have seen him once, but I'm a big fan of him. I am a big fan.
Okay.
We've never officially met, but I've known him for a long time.
I've seen you on social media. I read your posts.
Yeah.
Very, very many good posts.
Right.
Thank you.
What do you think, by the way, of her activism?
I think she gave the Gen Zs quite a voice, in my opinion. They needed to come out.
Yes.
And she had some wonderful organizing skills.
Right.
So I congratulate her. No, you did well.
You know, she tells me every once in a while that she fears that one day a Subaru will come knocking, or rather a Subaru driver.
If it didn't come then, it will probably not come.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I don't know whether Hanifa, you know that I was on the streets.
I saw the post.
Not more than a post. I'll send you the pictures. I was actually on the streets in Eldoret when wheelbarrows came down.
Yeah.
I was on the streets in Mombasa. And of course, I've been on the streets a few other times. And then, of course, just trying to get the young people out when they were locked unfairly. I've been in the courts as well. And you may also know that a couple of my petitions are still being being decided on.
Right.
The biggest one that I'm very proud of is the chain of command challenge to Akina Murkomen, Haji, and Kanja for literally killing over 100 citizens. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, you count until 100 plus.
Okay.
I mean, could it be that they actually believe we have not become accustomed to bloodshed? I mean, why would you kill one, let alone over 100, just because they're asking for a better country? That's what I'm unable to fathom. I don't get it.
Mwalimu, you've said that you're currently in court because you want them to answer for these particular crimes.
Yes.
So are you accusing them of the murders of the innocent lives, or are you insisting, or do you want them to take responsibility for the officers that committed those crimes? What exactly are you in court for?
I'm in court for chain of command, that they issued the command to kill. Okay?
Okay.
And the people that killed have never been brought to book. So I have wanted them to institute charges on these people that killed.
Yes.
But they haven't. How many years later, okay? So I was seeking the court for permission to privately prosecute them.
All right.
Yes.
So, granted, if the courts grant you that particular wish, then you will now proceed to have charges against them for those murders, or
we want them tried first of all.
Okay.
And if we don't get justice here, then we can always push it to the ICC.
Okay.
Yeah, because the right to life is protected not just by the Kenyan Constitution, it's protected by international United Nations
Bill of Rights.
Yes. So all these things, and then even in religion, I mean, the right to life, you just don't kill another human being.
Yes.
So if you just violate that at will, and we've had people like Murkomen coming out clearly and say, piga risasi mguu, and even the president said that. Almost like there is no remorse for killing.
Yeah.
And I will not even go as far as the abductions.
He was lenient.
Yeah. So the question is, if some people are not concerned about that, I am concerned.
Yeah.
Because I'm a citizen, I'm a human being.
Yes.
I'm also someone who reveres God. And the right to life must not be taken away by another person. At least let's have justice. And so I don't want the Kenyans to miss something.
Okay.
And that is, what is it the young people were asking for? They want accountability.
Yes.
They wanted, the finance bill that was being forced down our throats to be thrown away. They wanted integrity. They wanted a leaner government. They want jobs, Now, if those are bad things to ask for,
yes,
somebody needs to tell me what the right things are. Okay. And then, for asking for those particular things,
yes,
you call them treasonous. Yeah? You actually think they are overthrowing the government. They're not. You're in power. You have everything. How can, unarmed people with bottles of water
and their iPhones
be treasonous? What's the definition of treason? I don't get it.
But Mwalimu, allow me to be the devil's advocate here.
Okay. Please defend your devil. Let me hear him. Let me hear you.
I had a feeling we'll go there.
And work hard.
But if countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Madagascar are anything to go by, they have proven that indeed Gen Z movements or citizen unrest can actually lead to the ouster of presidents, prime ministers, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
I mean, the Bangladeshi PM fled, and Madagascar president, same thing.
Okay.
Isn't it proof, or you know, is it not? I'm looking for the right word here.
Treason.
No, it's not treason.
Because what you need to convince me of is that it is treason.
No, the question I'm asking is, considering that Kenya started it, but Akina Bangladesh and Nepal completed it, wasn't maybe this government right to fear that kind of uprising, because that uprising would actually kick them out of power?
You are evading the question.
Yes.
The question is,
was it treasonous?
The things that the young people are asking for,
yes,
are they good or bad?
Oh, they're definitely good.
Okay. If they are good, so why would you be threatened by it? Why would you accuse the young people? Why would you kill them?
Yes.
Why would you abduct them?
Okay.
We're not talking about treason here, because my understanding of treason is that you either use arms or use force to take over a government. The Kenyan government has the military, they have the GSU, they have the police, they have, you know, nowadays they probably even have goons. What I'm trying to say is that they have everything in terms of security.
Yes.
So what is this thing that converts to treason?
Okay.
Just because, I mean, demonstrations are guaranteed in our constitution. In Article 37. The right even to opinion and belief and conscience is guaranteed in Article 32.
Yeah.
The right to expression. All these rights. So if we've been talking to you saying the taxes are high, lower them, you don't listen. If we tell you we are hungry, you don't listen. If we tell you the fuel prices are high, you don't listen. If you don't listen, then the only way to make you listen is to go on the streets and tell you, listen.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of the Gen Zs and protest, I've been following your post for some time now, and one thing I've noticed is that you are vehemently against the united opposition. You said that young people did not go to the streets to die, to recycle the same KANU people and KANU orphans. So are you against the united opposition?
So let's correct the first part of your statement. I am not against a united opposition.
Okay.
I am against the process of uniting with the same people that have brought us to where we are. People who are talking tribalism. Let this tribe unite with this tribe. I am the kingpin of this group. You are the kingpin of this group. Let's come together and form a united government using kingpin tribal rhetoric and politics. I am saying if we go that way, in fact, as of my latest posts, then we will actually be going back to who gets positions in government, and it will always be these two communities. And sooner or later, they'll be talking about how many votes you brought, therefore how many seats you can have in government. Now, there are more than 42 communities in Kenya. If we go that route, then we are going to be entrenching status quo, because that's how we've always done stuff. And so if you say, let me just be candid. If you say we're Linda Mwananchi, but we are going to unite with whoever it is to remove President William Ruto. So that becomes the goal. But if you come in funded by the same people, you come in talking about uniting with the same people that were talking about shareholding and all that, then what change are you giving the people of Kenya? There is no change. So I am a staunch believer in drain the swamp, start afresh, new faces. In fact, I want more young people in government. I want to see professionals that have never stolen. I don't want an opposition that is going to soon sit down with the government and have to negotiate. That's what a two-horse race does. That you make the opposition so strong that even if you stole the election, then in the end you can always say kuja tuongee. That's what I don't want. In fact, I don't want a dichotomy. I want a trichotomy. I want to see at least a three strand kind of option. Let's go back to 2022 and how the elections were run. So you had President William Ruto win with about 7 million, and then you had Raila come next with 6.8.
Yes.
Of course, that can be debated because the servers have never been opened. But then you have more than 8 million people
who didn't vote.
Who didn't see a reason to vote because the options given to them were not good enough. So tukiweka kwenye foleni tuseme 8 million, 7 million, then 6.8. Actually, it would be that the 8 million are the one who won the election.
Yeah, voter apathy.
Yes. Na kuna wale hawakuwa hata register,
Yes.
especially the young people. And if you were to go by what happened in 2024, all these young people that never even had registered before came out and said, this is our country, we want a future. And we want a country that works for us. I was with them. I feel them. That's why I ran in 2022 and was blocked, because I wanted a different way of doing things. And I guess there are efforts to still reduce some of us to a non-issue. So
Are you
what
still
happens?
running next year?
I am going to run.
Is the block still there?
See, well, so look at it this way, Hanifa. So IBC blocked me from being on the ballot. I took them to court. And Judge Mrima says include Kigame on the ballot. Chebukati goes to the Court of Appeal to stay that judgment. And it has never been heard to this day. That's why I call the Court of Appeal a cemetery of cases. So if nearly 5 years later my case has never been heard, then it was deliberate. But that be as it may, the reason why I want to run again is twofold. One, mimi sikumaliza kazi yangu ya 2022. My agenda remains the same. Utu, haki, maadili. You know, I want to bomoa ufisadi, tekeleza katiba, jenga Mkenya. That's still what I want. And that's what people are running away from. You saw my tweet yesterday basically saying, Linda Mwananchi is failing because they have no agenda. If the agenda is just, Baba told me this and Baba told me that, that Ruto must go, amesema hivi. I want to hear about what we will deal, how we will deal with debt, how our children will go to school, how we're going to make jobs work for people instead of, all these guys studying nursing so that they can go and work in old people's homes in the West. Kwenda kufanya kazi kama, house helps. Let's give the young people jobs here. We have enough. Let's industrialize. Let's make Kenya work for them. Those are the issues I want to hear.
I was just looking at that tweet, that same one. Let me just read it out. Linda Mwananchi has the euphoria of fed up citizens, the money, the tribal kingpin, but it has no agenda for Kenya as yet. It is all about Baba said this and said that, Ruto this and that. This is not enough to give us a new Kenya.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I was going through some of the comments under that tweet. For example, there's one Twitter user called Mudhoni wa Mudhomo. Mudhoni amesema, mbona hamski that hashtag Ruto must go is an agenda that is full and thick.
It is not an agenda full and thick.
Yes.
Because if Ruto goes and then we are replaced by somebody who says Kenya is for shareholders,
yes,
nothing has happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Ruto must go and then we still believe in broad-based government, expanding the government instead of making it lean, we are back to the same place.
Okay.
If Ruto must go, but the people funding us to take over from him are the same ones that work with him, that are his friends, that are doing business with him, that have been in office with him.
Right.
I beg to differ. Maybe kuna kitu mimi sioni. Yeah. Maybe kumefika mahali sasa kuna kitu naona ambacho mmekataa kuona. Because honestly speaking, no.
Uko na jokes me?
No, it's worse than that. Unajua hivi? Shida ya Kenya ni macho. Kama unataka niangushe tu hiyo.
Sasa twende deep sasa.
Shida ya Kenya ni macho. Either tunaona sana.
Okay.
So we grab everything, we loot, we steal because tumeziona. Anything we see, we want. But for the citizens of Kenya, mimi naona shida ni hawaoni.
Okay.
Because how can you not see that the so-called opposition is made up of exactly the same people that a few years ago were telling us Kenya is for 2 tribes that gave us the greatest votes. How can we be, making a change if we still believe we can create a position for, the prime cabinet secretary, expand government and include everybody so that we spend more on government?
Yeah.
Mimi sioni.
All right. Nisome tweet ingine. Kuna Dan Ocholi under the same response amesema, respectfully, I disagree.
Okay.
Every movement begins by identifying what is wrong before presenting detailed solutions. The #one-term movement is fundamentally about demanding accountability, constitutionalism, integrity, and an end to corruption, impunity, and poor governance.
So 2 things.
Yes.
One, I wish it was Linda Mwananchi telling me that. They're not the ones. These are the apologists of Linda Mwananchi saying this is what Linda Mwananchi means.
Yeah.
But secondly, these are exactly the same things that Ruto was doing. And we're saying Ruto must go. Between 2021 and 2022, he wanted Uhuru out to take over. So if it's just removal from power, I mean, the election here, somebody will go out of power. But the issue is, and I beg Kenyans to think about this.
Yes.
What are we replacing this current horrible regime with? If we have no plan, and that is to basically remove this extractive capitalistic state, if we are not going to remove that, and it's neo-colonial in shape, if we are not going to remove it, we are going absolutely nowhere. Because we have to get to a point where we answer the question, why are we trading with the lives of Kenyans? Why is it we are selling performing companies like Pipeline? Why is it that when it comes to buildings like the airport or the Rironi Mau Summit Road, we are busy bringing in foreigners that blow up the cost of these things, and you can see it's all corrupt business.
Yes.
I mean, why aren't we talking about debt?
Okay.
Why aren't we talking about how we'll take our children to school? Let me tell you something, and I hope you don't forget.
Okay.
If you were to give roughly 15,000 shillings per primary school student to go to school, and you give about 27,000 for high school, and you give about 210,000 for university, with just about 300 billion, you can take every current registered student in Kenya to school for free.
Hold on.
You spend about 300 billion, you can provide free education. So why are we spending 702 in the last financial year, and now it's been raised? Hizi pesa zingine hata sijahesabu CDF. Hizi zingine. So why are we pocketing money? All these ghost schools, ghost teachers, and so on. A blown up economy. Kenya imejaa wizi. I mean, it's a looting trough. Government is a looting trough. And we've got to bring this to an end. Yes.
All right. One last one, so we can get...
Umependa hiyo tweet sana.
Nimependa. I
think it is dissecting the entire point of the goal is not Ruto must go.
It is, or rather, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, let me finish. It's okay. Or rather, Ruto must go means the entire system.
Yes.
Not just him.
No.
Let me rephrase it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It means the entire system, not just him.
Yes. And then even more importantly, is what do we replace that system with?
Okay.
Because if we replace the system with another person who behaves like Ruto, lies, makes all these promises, and so on, where are we going? I mean, we're going nowhere. Yeah.
You know, if I were to, again, be the advocate on the other side.
Yeah.
You're always the advocate.
You really love the devil. He'll give you a job.
Actually,
He does.
but
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, right now, I'm looking at Kenyans and the kind of complaints that they have against this government as someone who has got some pain in his arm because he has probably a wound that has an infection. So right now you are in so much pain that even before you get the antibiotics to treat that infection, you first of all want painkillers to just kill the pain. And then once the pain has subsided, or as the pain subsides, now we can treat the infection. Perhaps that is what is happening with all these one-term movements and the Linda Mwananchis of this world. At the end of the day, guys, we know the pain has got to go away, and we know what the pain or who the pain is. So as we get antibiotics, the immediate treatment we need, because painkillers are almost instant in how they work. Perhaps that is what is going on. Let's kill the pain first. Let's finish the pain as we treat the infection.
So how about if I gave you the option of coming from the frying pan into the fire?
That is also a possibility.
So would you prefer that?
And of course not.
Because what I'm trying to say is that the sufuria and the fire are one thing. Okay?
Okay.
That the options we are being given vis-a-vis tribalism, vis-a-vis kingpin politics, vis-a-vis this, these government positions, broad-based, all that. The options we are being given cannot fix our malady.
Okay.
No.
I think it's the realistic aspect of it, realizing how the Kenyan politics is set up. It's very tribal. We don't have that ideological alignment. So you'd find people at the end of the day, they want that popularity. They want a messiah who's going to play the real Kenyan politics. So I would say maybe the hatred for the current regime supersedes who they want to actually replace him with.
Okay, so maybe the question is this the first time we are tired with a system?
No.
No, it's not.
No. Moi really did havoc in this country. And by the time we got to choose Kibaki, it was that same mantra of Moi must go. Okay? And Kibaki did well for about a year or so.
Right.
But then Anglo-leasing kicked in. Then all these tribal arithmetic. By the time we're going to the 2007 elections, we're back to tribal arithmetic. Meaning that Kenyans did not really get exactly what they could have gotten. The Matibas were here. There were options. But the euphoria that I'm talking about, where everybody gets excited, finally it is this messiah figure. Unless a messiah figure represents something, and works with a team of like-minded people, then we'll get them into office, but they will do exactly the same things as their predecessors. Yes. That's my thesis, that's my belief, and I live and stand by it.
Maybe then, Mwalimu, you can tell us maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 things that you think if you were to be elected president today. But are you still going for the presidency?
Maybe I should say it for the 3rd time on this show.
Because
I just said
okay. Maybe but anyway, say it nonetheless.
So so let's put it this way. We're going into an election.
Yes, we are.
An election is about choosing. Okay? All I can do is offer myself. Okay?
Yes.
For Kenyans to choose.
Right.
That there is another way of doing this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
If they choose me, I'm fine. If they don't, I'm still fine. I have a teaching job. I'm still a musician. I'll still believe in justice and fight for it.
Right.
So my life doesn't stop.
Okay.
But Kenyans could actually lose a different way of doing Kenya. But having said that, why would I want to run
president
for office?
Yes.
And what would be different?
Yes.
Number one, I would begin with appointments in office.
Okay.
I would like character-driven leaders in office.
Yes.
Because we've lost our values, we've lost our integrity and accountability. I would begin with myself and all those around me. Form a national inclusive government that includes everybody at the table, which means that, for example, in terms of cabinet secretaries, then I would not be looking at 2 or 3 tribes or communities.
Yes.
I want a representation from every region, because they are professionals from all over the country that there is need to actually show that this thing can work. And so you pick professionals of character. That would be number one.
Okay.
Number two, we've got to go at corruption with hammers. We've got to stop stealing. We've got to close the taps. We've got to jail some people because impunity upande wa kuiba imefika kiwango ambacho it's almost like part of our culture. So we've got to actually attack this thing, and it should begin with me. Okay?
Yes.
What I earn, what I do, how I handle money, whatever, and I would be laying myself on the line saying, this is how I have lived. Check me, follow me. I want to lead by example. And I want those around me to do exactly the same. And then tighten the laws so that whoever steals from the Kenyans, whoever misappropriates, actually faces consequences. And those that have been named previously must be brought to book. So corruption is a cancer. It must be slain.
Yes.
Thirdly, I would want as much as possible to implement the Constitution to the letter. And fourthly, I would like a Kenya that works for the Mkenya, the citizen. That's why I talk about Jenga Mkenya. This is where now empowerment comes in.
Yes.
That it's not enough to have good leaders and to implement the Constitution. The economic transformation of the people of Kenya must be felt to the individual. I tell people I want to see Kenyans smiling again, because some decisions can be taken by the head of state. For example, nobody wrote in a book, it's not in any religious book or scripture that VAT must be at 16%. Thus says the Lord. No. So you can create relief by expanding, of course, the tax bracket, by rationalizing. If you look at even just opening something like a restaurant, Hanifa, you will have to pay like 9 or 11 different licenses. You know? And I'm saying rationalize this. Kenyans are not unwilling to pay taxes, but their taxes must go to, we must show exactly where their taxes go. So I'm saying tujenge Mkenya. And katika kujenga Mkenya, you're not just lowering taxes. We need to provide that free education because it can be done. We need to expand the health services. We need to keep promises. We need to industrialize. I mean, let's create the jobs here by opening industries. We manufacture stuff here. Can you imagine importing toothpicks from outside? Can you imagine chuma ndogo ndogo tu hizi za masanduku? We must really expand manufacturing and agriculture so that these things work. I mean, we create jobs here. I'm a big fan and proponent of a 2-shift day.
Yes.
In terms of work, so that you can start early. The same office can be used for something else in the afternoon. So you go to work at 6 in the morning, come out at 2, you have another shift. So you leave your first shift and you then can go and do your Uber or you work part-time at a restaurant or something.
Yes.
so that we weka pesa kwa mifuko ya Wakenya. And then we must deal with the debt crisis because we are borrowing but not showing what we borrow for.
Yes.
So just a few people, you sign papers, you don't show the contracts, you do all these things, and then you get away with it and you get into office again. Use what you've stolen to buy Kenyans. I really thank God for all Kalau.
Yes.
Yani, walinifanya nikasikia poa sana.
Same.
So, and we need all of us to get to that point where they come with their gas cylinders and blankets and food and whatever, and we say, Ata, okay, nimekula lakini sitakupa kura.
I actually don't think we'll ever see another Olkalao. That one was a very good lesson.
Why not?
No, we
It's
saw
possible.
the one.
No, what I mean is,
generally,
let me say exactly what I meant.
Okay.
I don't think sitaona watu wakipatiwa gas cylinders na mattresses venye walipatiwa Olkalao.
Maybe you have a point, yeah.
Gava imelan lesson.
Imelan, eh?
Imelan.
I hope so.
But I hope
Lakini they might do it in cash.
Wamekuliwa fare vizuri.
Generational kukula fare.
They might do it in cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me read 2 comments here. Evan Sonyango, this is on YouTube, wamesema the young people were calling for accountability and an end to legacy politics of status quo. Bruce Lee naye amesema good evening, please ask Mwalimu what happened to his 2022 election petition. I think you've explained that. And if he has faith with the judiciary. There's something you've said about the judiciary. Was it the which court? Umesema it's a cemetery of sorts.
The Court of Appeal.
What did you say?
It's a cemetery of cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
zinaenda huko zinakufia huko.
That is true.
Yeah.
Do you have faith with the judiciary?
As a system, yes. But those who are in there, a bunch of them are letting us down. If I was to just ask straight, you know, it's not about guesswork. Why is my case unheard 4.5 years later? Can somebody just explain that we are so busy that we cannot decide on an election petition for 4.5 years? Okay?
Yes.
And it's not the only one. I filed this, case against the killing of the Gen Zs on 31st July last year. It's under certificate of urgency.
Yes.
The first mention was on Sabasaba Day this year. And then the hearing has been pushed to December.
Wow.
So if you ask me about faith in courts, of course the system is good. I love our lawyers. I mean, several of them. They argue well, they reason well. But when it comes to how we handle cases, hata unaangalia, kama sahi, I hear most of them are on recess. Recess because of what? Ama tufunge mpaka radio generation, kila mtu aende recess.
Na hospitali.
Why are all these judges and, always, like, maybe there needs to be an audit of how many days the judges actually work and magistrates.
Yes.
In a year.
Because, Mwalimu, when you ask them, especially on that 4-year case, when you ask them, what do they tell you?
Who are they? I don't
the
even know anymore
the registrar.
Who is supposed Of course, my lawyers have raised question.
Yes,
can we expedite this? I mean, it's one thing for them to write and ask and so on. Even me, I've tweeted and so on. Who cares? I've even copied Martha Koome. Who cares? They don't care. And it gets to this point of, so if my matter is like that, I mean, it's not being heard and so on. It's an electoral case, okay, so maybe I can survive. But what about people who've been waiting for justice for 5, for 7, for 10 years?
Even the Obado case,
Yes.
7 years. It took 7 years to
So
get justice.
So I'm asking, is it that we are defunding the judiciary? Is it that we don't have enough judges? Is it that we don't have the agents? Some things, and even now we have online options.
Yes.
Or the courts can sit online. So we need an expedition. We need to expedite the legal the hearing of cases.
Yes.
Because a lot of Kenyans are being denied justice. And sometimes when you delay justice, it's almost like just denying it.
It is actually
So we are
denying.
going to another election. Sasa nianze kufuata mambo ya 2022 in 2028.
Yeah.
Unajua sasa kuna watu wako korokoroni tu wanangojanga kesi zao zisikizwe.
Ndio sababu nasema mimi naweza vumilia kwa sababu ni mambo ya elections. What about watu wamewekwa remande for no good reason and they're just waiting for a hearing for justice.
Vijana nasikianga hiyo remand ni mbaya.
Waze?
Kwanza nasikianga ukipelekwa inda huko kuisha wewe.
Mwalimu, just before we finish, I wanted to know what you think about Batuk, the British Army Training Unit in Kenya. As you've seen, training wamepeleka Tanzania because of license issue with the government. Now we have a section of people saying that the Batuk Army wameshikilia economy ya Nanyuki despite everything, the atrocities they have been doing following the news of rape, murder, all the allegations that are against them. And some are even in court. What do you think about it?
There is an academic side of that discussion, and then there is a practical side of it. Huh? So, first of all, because we are talking politics, my first question is, why are they in Kenya? Why do we have British troops here? And I may add, why do we have American troops here? Why do we have French troops here? Why are the Italians coming? Why? What is this obsession with foreign armies in our country? What do we want with them? This is our country. We have KDF. We have enough security. As when we need them, we will call them. Okay? We don't need foreign armies on our soil. And the point is, Kenyan troops are not in their countries. What is this that we are benefiting by having foreign troops here? Are they here for development? Are they here for psychology? Are they here for religious purposes? They're here for what?
Yeah, apparently training.
Training who? Why? It doesn't. We don't need them. We don't need foreign troops here, period. When we want partnership, when we want collaboration on something, tutawaambia. Okay? Like Kenya goes to Haiti with our police there, they fulfill the mission, they come back. So that's one. Two, the whole story is not being told. Let's talk about conservancies. Because the people in Nanyuki upwards, in the northern corridor, have experienced a lot of insecurity because they have been prevented from operating in those ranch areas. So why are these people putting up ranches and our people getting killed for like trespass and things like that? We haven't even gotten to the killing of our women and the raping. And then the worst part is that the cases either take so long or some of them go scot-free. Did you see what Kenya was signing with the French? It included impunity that you can't try the French soldiers here because they are who? Is that so? So my approach to foreign policy is strictly reciprocal.
Yes.
If you give visas to my citizens, the citizens of Kenya, I will probably give you visas. And I say probably because we need to evaluate.
Yes.
Okay. If you charge Kenyans nearly 30,000 to be interviewed to go to the US, that's exactly what we will charge you to come to Kenya. It's reciprocal. Okay?
Yeah.
If, in South Africa, you don't want Kenyans, this xenophobia thing,
Yeah.
then the first thing is the South Africans should also leave. Okay? But even more importantly, even if they don't leave, then what Kenyans have invested in South Africa in terms of business, in terms of making that country more economically stable should be refunded. Yeah.
All those assets they have there.
Yes. In fact, the only balance in terms of foreign policy I have is non-aligned and, being non-aligned, because I strongly believe that nobody has the monopoly to oppress another.
Okay.
So, if, for example, Israel wants peace, then Palestine must have peace. Okay? If Palestine wants peace, then Israel must have peace. There is no justification for going into somebody else's country and just killing women and children.
Yeah.
If killing is wrong, it's wrong for everybody. Okay. And then when you come to what is happening now in Kenya, and then in the East African region, you find, for example, foreign governments come in and mine our minerals, cause instability, loot the economy, take those minerals away, and then introduce certain diseases and so on to manage us to stay where we are. I still want to know why we are talking about setting up an Ebola quarantine site, place in Nanyuki. We don't have Ebola. We've never had Ebola in Kenya. Why not set it up in Congo? So kuna ile ukisikia nikiimba Kenya mpya imefika, tuwafukuze wala naimba nikisema tuacheni ufala, kwa sababu sasa tumefika mahali sasa tuna practice tu ufala, kitu hata hakifanywi Kongo tunataka kufanya huku. Americans don't want Ebola on their soil, but our people want it on our soil, because we are who and they are who. So I'm sorry to sound really radical, but truth is radical by nature. You can't come and, the courts say you can't set up that particular center here, and you start setting it up. Because you are who?
Completely ignoring.
Yeah. So I come to the table with a radical agenda of turning Kenya around by removing the colonial extraction and the capitalism that has pulled us down all this time. I don't want any pacts with people that take advantage. Like the RSS, how do you even invite them here in the first place?
You mean the RSF?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the point? So kuna tu ile common sense which is no longer common actually, but here we are.
So uoni mali tunaenda na hii ufala?
Ninaona.
Okay.
Ninaona mali tunaenda na ufala na mimi sitaki kwenda huko.
Okay.
Yes.
Mwalimu, tumefika kilele, maybe part in short, a roundup of perhaps everything that you'd like to be known before you leave this show.
So first, there is hope. You don't have to be stuck with those same old options. Na mimi nimejitoa as a possible alternative. Kama hamtaki hii alternative, siwezi walazimisha. But there is hope to start afresh with new faces. And then secondly,
yes,
we need to prioritize the issue of values. Bila maadili, hakuna kitu kitabadilika Kenya, because sio kwa serikali peke yake. Tumezoea uchafu mpaka huku chini. Yeah. And then lastly, we've got to put young people at the center of political discussions, because we are behaving as if they don't exist. Now, wao ndio more than 70% of this. So if we are not talking about how we go on with the young people,
yes,
hata election haina faida, kwa sababu which Kenya are you going to be building anyway? So we've got to make jobs work. Establish jobs for young people.
Okay.
We've got to take them to school, all of them. Kwa sababu si tumewazaa.
Ni kweli.
Sasa tumewazaa na kuna shule tunasema lazima watu wasome na hatutaki kuwapeleka shuleni. So we must take young people to school, and we must not punish any child to lack school just because of taxes and all these punitive economic decisions.
Okay.
Na mwisho mimi naamini kwamba Mungu bado anapenda Kenya. Naamini kabisa, lakini tusimjaribu Mungu. Yeah.
Mwalimu, kabla nikuachilie.
Naam.
If the other folks in the opposition call you and say, Mwalimu, you know, we have heard some of the things that you've said, and we believe that you can inject that particular vision into our movement. Let's call it the United Opposition.
Okay.
Would you join them?
First of all, there are two answers to it.
Please answer.
First of all, I don't have to be the one leading Kenya.
Yes.
And I want that made very clear. You can lead Kenya. Hanifa can lead Kenya as long as we are agreed on what we want to do for the people of Kenya.
Okay.
Tukisema tuta lower taxes, tuseme tuta improve uchumi, tuseme tutaweka kazi for wa Kenya, I don't have to be in fact, let me put it on record. If Ruto was doing what the young people are asking for,
yes,
no young person would be on the streets. But they don't want to do it. But the second answer is this. I would be willing to actually give direction to this country as long as we agree on the agenda.
Okay.
If we cannot agree on the people-centered agenda, hata mkinipa kiti cha bure, sichukui, because we will be going nowhere. We must change the lives of Kenyans or nothing.
That is the irreducible minimum.
Yes. The people of Kenya must have food, they must have education, they must have jobs. And I don't care who, if you say you're going to do it, for sure, I don't have to be president.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mwalimu. This is where we come to a close as far as this conversation is concerned. Na tunakushukuru tena sana for coming and being on time. Very few people at this particular hour wanasemanga
mimi mwalimu.
Wengine wanasemanga gai tulikuwa tunapatana saa ngapi? Nimepotea mara sijui nini.
Mimi mwalimu, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you so much.
This is the conversation to have.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Asante mwalimu for coming.
Nashukuru
We wish you all the best.
Thank you, and I hope we team up together, all of us, and just give a people-centered, fresh start.
For sure.
Stand by, folks. Coming up next, Innocent Paluget joins us. He's a politician and entrepreneur. And we also have Sophie Mugure. Sophie is an aspirant for MCA Thika Township Ward. Stand by for that and much more. Don't go too far.
Radio Generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good evening, I am Dahira Ahmed. 8 people arrested over the attempted attack at St. Stephen's Church in Kisumu have been released after prosecutors failed to file charges despite completing investigations. Senior Principal Magistrate Valerie Adhiambo dismissed the prosecution's application to continue detaining the suspects pending a plea taking. The defense welcomed the ruling and called on police to arrest those responsible for the July 12th attack that left 2 people dead.
The application to continue holding the respondents in the cells pending plea taking was withdrawn, and as such I will not dwell on the same. I will not dwell on it, and order that the respondents be released immediately.
We call upon the police to arrest the true perpetrators of the crime that happened when we were at the church. And they should be made to answer. And we will not rest until they become accountable to the violence that was meted to the congregants at the church.
Our court should not be used as a means of frustrating Kenyans into the criminal justice system. We've seen people lose their right to liberty because of lack of representation. And that is why we are here in good number to represent these innocent Kenyans, because if they did not have voices to speak for themselves, to speak for them, they would have ended up for longer time in court. We're urging our courts to bring back the kind of independence and accountability that courts were known for.
DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua has said the Mount Kenya region will unite behind one leader ahead of the next general election to avoid splitting the region's votes. Speaking during a tour of Igembe Central, Igembe North and Igembe South, Gachagua accused Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku of prompting divisive politics on behalf of President William Ruto. He also vowed to ensure all of President Ruto's allies in the Mount Kenya region are voted out in the next election, describing them as traitors.
Bora natuma Duale kutukana watu ya Mlima Kenya. Ati unasema sisi ni mafisi. Mimi nakwambia Kasongo, nikiwa hapa Igembe, nikiwa kiongozi ya Mlima Kenya, nikutangazie, umetuita mafisi tumekubali. Umetuita mafisi tumekubali. Wewe ujue mafisi ya Igembe wataamuka asubuhi mapema mwaka ujao. Wakule wewe, wakutafune na wakumeze.
The High Court in Kisumu has sentenced 30-year-old Shem Akuku Otieno to 4 death penalties after he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of murder. Akuku admitted killing his wife, son and 2 relatives in Milenye village, Muhoroni in 2024 before surrendering to police. Justice Joe Omido ruled that despite the Supreme Court's decision against the mandatory death sentence, the seriousness of the crime justified the punishment. Akuku has been given 14 days to appeal.
Otieno alias Daddy is hereby sentenced to death. On counts 2, 3 and 4, the accused Shem Akuku Otieno alias Daddy is likewise sentenced to death on each of those counts. However, the execution of the sentences imposed on counts 2, 3 and 4 shall remain held in abeyance for as long as the sentence of death imposed on count 1 remains in force.
And Chief Justice Martha Koome has urged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and other stakeholders to begin early preparations for the 2027 general election. Speaking in Mombasa during a meeting of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, Koome said all institutions must be ready to uphold the Constitution, protect political rights and ensure election disputes are resolved fairly and within delay. She added that the judiciary has expanded digital court services and continues to prioritize the timely handling of sexual and gender-based violence cases.
Laws and structures, all the processes that are in place, the individuals and institutions to have their capacity built, to have upskilling, and even the Law Society of Kenya. One of our sub-themes in the annual conference we'll be having next month is on election preparedness, because we want all professionals to be able to play their actual role to ensure free and fair and verifiable elections.
As we look ahead to the 2027 general elections, the National Council on the Administration of Justice must continue early preparations. Election preparedness extends beyond electoral management. It encompasses the readiness of the entire justice sector to uphold constitutionalism, the rule of law.
Elsewhere, the High Court has temporarily stopped the arrest and prosecution of 3 individuals linked to the collapse of Manzil Towers C in South C, Nairobi. Justice Dr. Nabil Mokaya allowed Patrick Analo, David Kibui and John Gombe to challenge the DCI's decision to charge them with abuse of office over the incitement. The case will be mentioned on September 16th for further directions. And Wiper Party leaders have called on President William Ruto to dismiss Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale over remarks they claim targeted the Kikuyu community. Speaking during the opening of the party's Bungoma office, the leaders, led by Nakuru coordinator Moses Mulu, said if Duale does not resign, the president should remove him from office. They warned that the remarks could fuel ethnic tension and undermine peace in the country.
We need your resignation. Kama CS wa health, hatuwezi kuwa tunaongozwa na serikali ambayo inaleta mambo ya chuki katika makabila mengine. Kwa hivyo sisi kutoka siku ya leo tunakupatia ultimatum ya wiki moja. Kama utaweza kujiuzulu wewe Duale, kama utaweza kujiuzulu, tutakuja hapo na tuandamane mpaka utoke.
Kama mkae nyuma ya Kalonzo Musyoka, sisi kama chama cha Wiper tuna field candidates in all elective positions national. Hakuna mahali ambapo utakuwa na shida na utakuwa na nomination mzuri.
Taungana na wote wanaosema one term
tuondoe serikali dhalimu katika uongozi, turejeshe wananchi mamlaka.
And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Have a lovely night. I am Bahira Ahmed.
This is Radio Generation. Radio Generation Classifieds.
Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, mautamu. Kendizi, vibe uplifting na flavor mbichi, bei rahisi, ina nice one time ina donjo. Acha nikupande changu shovile na control. Indomie na ka flavors usimeja kwa bumbu, sunda maji ongeza, weka kitu kwa jiko na kamali kwa sinia unatandaza. Mixi unachanganya, vibe ni mautamu. Utamu. Tuya Indomie mautamu, vibe ni mautamu. Indomie, vibe ni mautamu.
Radio Generation Classifieds. This week, power was tested in the corridors of leadership, economies shook under pressure, and the voices of ordinary citizens demanded to be heard. From breaking decisions in high office to protests in the streets, from moments of triumph to tragedies that stopped us in our tracks, these are the headlines that shaped our week. And beyond the noise, we search for what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. And this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts.
Oh my goodness, people are funny in this place. Hanifa, good evening. Good evening, Hanifa.
Good evening. Good. Okay.
Mugure na kuconfuse hapa hivi.
Yeah, I didn't hear what she asked us.
Anyway, let me introduce our guests properly. First of all, welcome back to Radio Generation. The time right now is 13 minutes past 8 o'clock. This is the Generation Report, the weekly news roundup, telling you what has been making news in the last couple of hours, days, and so on and so forth. In studio, we have Sophie Mugure. She is an aspirant Thika Township Ward. Sophie, good day. Karibu nikwambie good morning. Good evening.
Good evening.
Karibu tena sana.
Asante.
And with Sophie, we also do have Innocent Paluget. It's Paluget, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Innocent, welcome to Radio Generation.
Thank you.
You've not been here
before. I've not been here, but this is my first time.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's a warm place, nice place. I'll recommend.
All right. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Ndaambiana hapo ongezwe kahawa.
Itabidi.
Ukishasema
nice, yeah, I've seen nice people. It's amazing.
Aya, sawa. Shukran. A couple of things have happened in the last couple of days.
Yes.
Hanifa and I were actually just talking about some of them before you guys joined us, and we even spoke with Mwalimu Kigame, and I'll just start with the most recent one.
Yes.
Which has been on everyone's lips. Nanimambo ya Goonism. Do you feel or do you believe that this Goon issue is going to be sorted? And I'll start with you, Paluget.
Thank you so much for that question. But before even I answer, let me, for those people who have not, who are wondering, who is this person?
Yes.
So my name is Innocent Kipkemboi Paluget. Actually, I am a businessman, a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and I come from Trans Nzoia County, a constituency called Cherangani, for those people who don't know.
I know Cherangani.
So, yes, that's now my home. That's my home village. Okay. That's where I was born. That's where I was raised. I studied there until later I went abroad.
Yes.
And I came back some years later. And, you know, it's always good to at least have that kind of introduction, because at the end of the day, majority of the things that we deal with, because we deal with youths, and many times we deal with women, PWDs, we always try to give back to the society.
Right.
So,
but even as you continue, as you, kwa title hapa, producer amesema you're a politician.
Yes, a politician and an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. Of course, at many times, we deal with matters related with the youths, women, and people with disabilities.
Are you vying for any seat?
For now, I'm not vying for any political seat. When the right time comes, or if I'll want to vie for a political seat, of course, I'll come back here and I'll announce that now this is where we are heading. But as of now, we want to give back to the society. We want to bring people together. We want to bring the youths. We want to bring women. And we are starting from where I come from. That is Cherangani.
Yes.
In the after that, we do Trans Nzoia. We do the whole country.
Right.
As of now, the country is polarized. We are so much divided that never before. I've never seen such kind of divisions. I've never seen people in pain, and I've never seen youths being used. And that's why when you started with this question of Goonism, I was very happy, because this is the right time to talk about this Goonism.
I actually want to just go back as you address this Goonism issue.
Yes.
You've said the country is very much polarized.
Never before.
What do you mean by that?
You know, we have always had a society whereby if someone wants to go there, they look for people who will assist them to go there in the right way.
Okay.
Like we used to see politicians vie for political seats. But nowadays, there is a problem, because leaders have realized that a united society is very dangerous. So they are working to ensure that the society is divided. Okay. You divide people against each other, against tribes, against religion, and of course now against groupings. That's why now we are talking about Goonism.
Yes.
Because goons now are no longer tribal. Goons are just people hired for a particular mission to achieve a particular setting. Okay. That means a goon who is a Kalenjin can rise up against a goon who is also a Kalenjin. Do you see that? Yes. So that is how bad the situation is. But now when we were in the tribal era, I could ask you what's your name. You say I'm Mwangi. I know you are now the enemy. But now I can be Mwangi, you can be Mwangi, but I'll still slap you in the face.
Yes.
Do you see that? We have never reached there. In all the elections, even the 2002 where we were singing Yote Yawezekana Bila Moi, we did not get into that point.
Okay.
Even when we reached the point of clashes, that is in the year 2007, we did not get into this point. This is the worst, and its results will be catastrophic if we do not find a way to end this. If we do not come together as youths, as women, as people with disabilities, as the elders, as the church, and make a decision and make a solemn oath that we need to end this, then this will ban this country beyond recognition. Leave alone now the one that we talked about, the clashes and all the tribal things. This is worse than tribalism.
Sophie, I think we've asked you this question before, but for the sake of listeners who've not heard your voice as far as Goonism is concerned, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, and this is just my personal opinion, disclaimer. Let me start like he did. My name is Sophie Mugure here. I am the National Youth League Chair for People Renaissance Movement Party, as well as an aspirant for MC in Thika Township. So my personal opinion is the master of the goons is William Samuel Ruto, and he is using this situation to create a scenario where he blames certain people who are against him as a way to finish them politically.
How do you know he's the master?
Did you see the expose by NTV?
Yes, I did.
On what happened in Olkalau?
Yes, I did.
Those people belong to which political party, or they were surrounding the aspirant for which political party? Those people were handing money to people given to them by who? They were wearing branded clothes of which political party? Who is the party leader of that political party? It is William Samuel Ruto. If it wasn't him and his cabal led by Murkomen, then these people would have already been cracked down. We would already be seeing arrests. We would already be seeing people in court for this particular matter.
Is it possible that as much as he is the party leader?
Let me tell you what's going on. Ruto has established a system where he has one person in every border shade.
All over the country?
All over the country. Has established that particular system.
We
also attended a meeting by Kenya Human Rights Commission where we were discussing violence and gender-based violence as we approach the elections, and how women can be safe in this polarized environment. And the director gender in the National Police Service comes and says, unajua mnaweza kuwa mmekaa hapo watu watano mkae mkijua watu wawili hapo ni nini? Mapolisi. Today we have 4 people from Mathare and its environs who have been missing for the last 1 month.
Yes.
We go to court and the prosecutor is defending, saying mnasema ni polisi waliwachukua but hawakukuwa na uniform. And then the OCS or the person in charge of the police in Nairobi then justifies that these days police wanakubaliwa kwa job bila uniform.
Plain clothes, you mean?
Yeah, they are plain clothes, and he justifies that he hao ni ma-DCI. So who are those people you saw causing havoc in Olkalau? Plain clothed people. So those of us, the reason why I'm giving you this informer thing that he's establishing, wewe kwa mtaa kama uko vocal, na unaambia watu Ruto must go, na una organize Kiwantam, wewe ni target.
Okay.
So when Murkomen says that there are 10,000 people coming from training to come and deal with goons, sisi vocal voices, sisi ndio tutaambiwa sisi ni magoon. Na sisi ndio tutaanza kumalizwa. Kenye nataka kukuja hapa ni mjue Ruto is a student of Moi. And now he wants to be better than his teacher. In Moi's time, you could not say Moi's name. Ulikuwa unasema Moi chini ya meza. Ulikuwa unasoma publications against Moi kwa choo. Juu ungepatwa na hiyo publication, watu kama Maina wa Kenyati walienda jela kwa nini? For having publications that tell people that, hey, this is not how a country should be run. So historia Goonism, it is being orchestrated so that anybody who is against the government, they come for you and they say you're the master of the goons. And that is how we will be politically finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
So according to you, this is a well-oiled machine and it is being run from high up the echelons of this country.
How do you justify the fact that they can come and kidnap Kibet Bull? They know where Kibet Bull lives. They'll go kidnap Billy. They know. See, Murkomen anasimamanga anasema the government knows everything. Wanajua what you're doing, who you're sleeping with, where you're going to be tomorrow. So why do they not know these operatives that are organizing this gang?
Mimi si ati nataka kutetea gava, but unajua sisi kuna kitu inaitwa open source intelligence, whereby for example, it's very easy for people if they really wanted to abduct me. They know number one where I work. Every single day they know where to find me at 6 a.m. and they know at 10 a.m. what time I will leave, because I'm on a radio station and I run a show.
Yes.
They know, chances are they know where I live, because at one point I have posted photos on my social media. So it's very easy to pinpoint Mbuvi ninajua hii esto, nimeenda hii place, najua Mbuvi anaishi hapa hivi. So sometimes if
waki abduct landlord, walipataje landlord?
Yes, ndio nasema.
And in court, it was admitted that Safaricom walipeana intel yake bila court order, right?
Ni kweli. Ndio nasema yani, as far as open source intelligence is concerned, even you, Sophie, if I really wanted
without intel.
Yeah, if I really wanted to abduct you, I'll just go through your social media. You're a politician. I know your itinerary today. You're going to be at Radio Generation. You're going to leave here at 9. So there are some folks, it's really easy just to catch them where they are. But like I said,
I think she's saying kama it's that easy, kwa nia washiki maguzi.
Kwa nini tunapromisiwa a file has been open, investigations are going on, and she's like, really guys?
I agree with you.
So why are we paying money? Why are we increasing the budget of the National Police Service to a tune of 21 B? No, to a tune of 11 billion. Ministry of Defense to a tune of 21 billion. Kwa nini tunatoa pesa kwa road development ya 25 billion? Kwa nini tunatoa pesa kwa maternal health and reproductive health of women to a tune of 10 billion? And we are adding this money to the security and the defense forces of this country. Ndio tununue hizo magari za kutoa hiyo sauti mbaya, instead of using that money to crack down and keep our country secure. Really?
Sirens ndio unita sauti mbaya.
Si siren,
Acoustic.
Ile ndio wanaambia inataka watu kwa protest.
Is one of those. It's a tactic ya kumanage watu as well. It's a weapon. So hiyo sauti mbaya, it's supposed to probably disperse people.
Actually, it's illegal to use it on civilian crowds.
Sasa unaona mtu kama mimi just had my surgery. If I was there, ningekuwa kiziwi.
By the way,
ningekuwa kiziwi.
It is illegal to use that on civilian crowds. Hiyo unaweza tumia huko ukicombat terrorists in the forest, but not on innocent folks.
I have a question, since you're young people and you're going to join politics one day and you've made it.
She's already in politics.
No, not she. Okay, she's sure of it. She's going to vie for MCA Thika. This is a topic that has been going around Linda Mwananchi when Sifuna has been fundraising, public fundraise, and we're finding a lot of people in the government frowning on that, which begs the question, Is that something that would be essential, especially for young people who are dealing with the politics of money? And is that something we should actually embrace instead of mocking people about it? Yeah.
Generally, I'll not. As I was going through the internet today, I found that there's one guy and it was Salasha. Salasha actually, he's saying
he's in the front line mocking it. Yes.
He said that he had deposited 1 million shillings to that account, and he's begging he's begging Sifuna, he's begging Sifuna not to go taking small monies from Mamboga and border and all that. And I was really thinking about that because I think it's a good gesture for the people to give it to you, of course, as a token of appreciation. I don't think if that 50 or 100 shillings he is able or is capable to finance a presidential ambition or a
but
presidential
many 50s inatoa milioni.
So a million is not enough. Actually, running for presidency needs billions. That is why each and every time
but is it
when
okay?
These guys,
is it okay
course,
for it to cost that much? That is the question.
In Kenya, we have made politics very expensive.
Yes.
I think even someone like my sister here who is vying for a political seat, they'll be able to tell you that vying for a political position in Kenya has been very expensive, and it has been made expensive by Kenyans themselves, not politicians. Because I have not announced that I'm vying for a political position, but each time when I go home, I'll have to put aside a certain amount of money because automatically the society believes that as far as you come, as far as you are a philanthropist, as far as you want a political power position, you must be able to pay in courts. And I think that is one of the things that we must really have a serious conversation about it, because the constitution is very clear on capping the amount of money needed to vie for every political position, from the presidency all the way even to MCA. But each and every time we have always divided all that and we throw out money like never before. And going forward, it will be very hard for Kenyans to get good leaders, because at the end of the day, everybody is working on a way to get money in order to vie for a political position. From those who are on top of government, you'll hear someone who is a PS, someone who is a CS. They are just waiting for the right time to resign and go for politics. And as we speak now, they're even engaging in corrupt activities in order to do what? To get money for politics. The same thing with governors, the same thing with every politician. They are saying that now, next year is a general election. We need money. What uko na ngapi hapo? Ngine atamwambia, hey, mimi nimefikisha 100 million. I was told by someone that if you want to vie for MP seat, for example, you need to have more than 50 million. That is in a rural constituency. We are not now talking about an urban one. We are not talking about the Senate. We are not talking about the governor. So it means for a governor, even in a rural setting, you need $1 billion. And all this money goes back to the people. That is why when these guys get into power, they don't do anything. They have to get back their money first, because it is technically they paid for that seat.
Olkalau lakini si imetuonyesha unaweza kula fair.
Olkalau has shown us, and I think it's a light to to this generation and also to this country, that it is possible for you to eat but vote for a good leader. I don't know how many other constituencies and counties or even the whole country, they'll be able to do the same thing. Because African naturally has been structured in such a way that they'll not want to hit your money and then leave you. It's like they feel guilty. So unapata mtu anasema sasa hii. Sasa wewe tumekula pesa.
And they treat politician like demigods.
Wewe umetumia pesa ngapi so far? Ama hujatumia do?
Well, nimetumia do because basically
na sisemi ile ya transport kwenda kuona constituents wako.
No, every day on your phone you have someone kwanza wanaanza na mhesh. Sasa mimi ni mhesh.
Sijana bini anze. So mhesh umespenda how much so?
Sasa huko ground mimi I've gone there for some few times while we were doing these empowerments and all that. We even organizing an event called Cherangani Youth Summit, whereby we want to bring the youths together. Ukifika sasa huko nimepewa jina mpya inaitwa Kinara. So ukifika hiyo unasema Kinara amefika.
Hata si kiongozi.
It keeps on advancing. And ukiangalia those people who are giving you those such titles and all that, they're genuine people anyway. They're giving out of good heart, and it's poverty. You know,
Yeah, it's a systemic issue. I wanted to ask you that.
is poverty.
Don't even put it in quotes. It's actually poverty.
Yeah, it is the problem.
You hit the nail on the head.
And we hope that going forward, we'll be able to get leaders who will be able to uplift these young men out of that poverty and give them something to do, give them real empowerment.
I don't think they will.
And
They're keeping them there so that they can
the youths,
exploit
that is
them.
why we are talking to the youths.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, what you said is very, very important, because you must keep this person poor so that you can exploit their presence. If they come, you'll only need to give them 50 shillings and they sing you the whole day. But now, if we are able to come up and get leaders like now that one of Walkala, whereby it's a genuine leader who was just coming with a heart to serve, they'll be able to uplift these young people from poverty. They'll give them something to do. They'll make them busy. You know, they're not in betting, they're not in alcohol, they're not in all these things that they're doing because they like it. Nobody has given them something else to do and then they failed. So going forward, I think they should be careful on who they put into power.
No, Sophie, how are you going to fundraise for your campaign?
Well, personally, I'm not worried because number one, that is why I joined a political party.
Okay.
Because
how is it by the?
It's very nice. It's called the People Renaissance Movement Party. Actually, we have our NDC on 11th of August at ACK grounds, and I'm inviting you guys and anyone else in the country who wants to attend.
ACK grounds in Akwanga.
ASK grounds.
ASK. Shukrani.
Hapo Ngongoro. Na mkikuja mwambiwe hiyo siku tuna unveil party leader wetu. Mugure sana.
I thought it was
that one you are thinking. Tunampea touch hiyo siku. Lakini that is part of my strategies because at least once you pay your life membership into a political party, that is what the party gives back to you in terms of support of merchandise, transport, and that. But also, we need to understand that resources flow towards ideas and a vision. Because we cannot just be going to the people as young people and saying, just because I am young, muni contribute. No, we have to first lead issue-based campaigns that people actually see what you're going to do when you get there. And then once people believe then in your vision, they are able to subscribe to it and support you to it. Another advantage I am buying the place I've been born and bred. So technically,
you're already popular there.
People know me. They know where I have grown. They know where I have gone to school. They know my parents. They know my background. So it's easy to sell myself as mimi ni mtoto wenu. Mumeniona nikienda shule na uniform. Please, now I just want to come back and give back to my community in the way that I see best. Another way is also being at the forefront of speaking to issues that are affecting Mwananchi today, and most especially the young people, because we have very few people who are willing to, considering the threats, the existential threats that are going on, for vocal voices and what that means for your life. Like me, I can't live in one house the entire month.
What do you mean?
Like you cannot have one place. That's my life now because of the path that I have chosen in this murderous government.
Are you saying that every month you have a different landlord?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean,
yes,
you can't sleep in the same place every single day.
Okay.
It's counterproductive for you because once they see a routine, they're able to come for you.
Yeah.
They're able to know, unaingianga kwa nyumba 7.
Yes, that thing I was mentioning, open
so
source
you have
intelligence.
to have a way of. But the Obama story is very inspiring because he was able to raise funds, but he had an agenda of change, an agenda of growing the nation, an agenda of not tribal lines, but togetherness, unity. Yes, we can. Providing a sense of hope. And I think that is what we need. And I tend to disagree with him when he says that moving forward, Kenyans are not going to be able to bring forth good leaders. Technically, what is happening now is a very serious pragmatic shift that the next leadership will 60% be made of good leaders. Because Kenyans have already seen that 5 years is such a long time. You know, we used to think 5 years is a short time. No, 5 years is a long time. For every year, there's a finance bill that dips deeper into your pay scale.
Yeah.
Every year, we have people missing, Gen Z's dying. It's crazy. So what really we are trying to do as a party as well is to raise that generation of new leaders who, first of all, we are building a party that is an institution, not based on a figurehead. And that is why it's counterproductive when people keep asking, who's your party leader? So no, the party has been existing and moving without us having a party leader. So it is one step, changing the party structure to be institutional and technically not based on one person and on tribal lines. But my worry is Kenyans forget so fast. What happened in Olkalau was a wake-up call to me that Kenyans are far from saving. They elected someone because they are against someone, not because they are voting for his agenda. Go ask the people of Olkalau what Sami's agenda is. They don't know. They supported Sami
you
because...
mean the DCP candidate that won?
Because they supported Sami because he is a one-term candidate.
Okay.
To punish the existing government. Not because Sami had the best agenda on the table. If it was agenda based, Sami would not be the person who would have won. Our candidate would be the person who would have won.
Okay. Renaissance had a candidate.
We had a candidate in Olkalau.
How many votes did he get?
He got 51 votes.
Okay.
Which is not bad because we're only 3 months old. Our candidate is a Gen Z.
Yeah.
He did not have the resources to move around the constituency, which is very vast. So 51 votes shows, hey, there are certain people in that constituency who actually had our agenda.
Yes.
And they bought it.
51 actually is a very huge number.
It's a huge number considering the other party that has been in existence for years and years. They got 198 votes and they have been a party in power for 2 terms.
You know, 51, that's a whole classroom.
51 is many votes, by the way. Okay, if we want to say that we want to change this country, we have to take a chance on new leadership. And that is what the Renaissance movement is about. What we are launching on 11th August is what it is about, a people-based agenda.
Lakini Sophie, yote pia nikutoe makosa kidogo kwa sababu ya candidate wenu. Umesema, for example, the resources you cannot compare to the big dogs, as we like to call them. Why didn't you bring him to a place like Radio Generation to have a conversation?
Well, that's true.
We don't charge here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they charge in other stations, but
I agree.
That is also, and I'm not saying that I am biased, for you guys or anything.
I truly accept that.
You want to bring the party leader?
Sorry? Party leader, candidate for that particular Olkalau.
Oh yeah.
It's here, and she's an MCA aspirant for Thika Town.
I think actually what we can say about the new party is probably they are still restructuring themselves. They are working on their systems and all that. Probably maybe going forward when you'll have known the party leader and all that. And as we said, politics is all about money.
Right.
You must have resources to run around. You must have resources even.
But Sifuna will prove you wrong. Politics is not about money.
Even if this place is free of charge, they'll still need transport and all that.
Yeah.
You cannot just fly into this studio and talk because it's free. So technically life, not only politics, life in general.
But money.
It's about money. We all agree, as much as we might want to disagree on one or two ideas of the same, but money is a very important factor for everyone. That is why when we talk about empowerment, that is why when we talk about youth empowerment, it's very, very important, because we are trying to get someone something to do that will generate them money, and above that they'll have something. At the end of the day, they have something they are doing.
What do you describe as youth empowerment? Because for me, it's a systemic issue. Show me how to fish. Don't give me the fish.
Exactly. That is what we mean by. That is what I mean by youth empowerment. I believe empowerment starts with the mind. It starts with the brain. An empowered brain will be able to open doors for you anywhere that you want. Everywhere that you knock, you'll be able to get something.
But so when we go,
education, the school education and the life education is not the same. majority of us have been equipped with the knowledge of the classroom, but we don't have the knowledge of the
street
of
where
life.
do we get that
That
knowledge?
is why we go to church, to get the knowledge of the Bible and the word of God, and now we'll go to heaven. We go to streets to get the knowledge of the streets. We go to
Hanifa
school
goes
to
to
get
the
the knowledge
mosque.
of the school. We go to the mosque, and we are happy about that. All the religions, at the end of the day, we are all believing in a deity that is somewhere that we all don't see. But now, when we go to rural places, or when we meet young men, women, people with disabilities, and all these groups that have been marginalized, that are being used by politicians every electioneering year come in, year go, they're being used. We always try to open their minds first, to tell them that the biggest resource that you can ever have is the resource called you. You are the only person who can be able to rescue yourself from whatever you are going or you're facing in life. If you wake up, if you refuse to be used, if you say I'm going, if you say I'm winning, if you believe it and you start waking up and doing something small by bit by bit, small by small, it adds up into something big. That is why we say success is the sum of smaller steps that we do every day. It sums up to what we call success. That is the first step that we do when we talk about empowerment. Before we give people money, before we say let's open a kinyuzi, before we open a car wash, before we do anything, even if I open a car wash for you, when your mind is not yet ready and set up for that, you'll close it.
It will fail.
Is that the same thing Nyota Fund is doing?
So,
I think inapeana pesa bila training.
If you give money without training, it means nothing. That is why even for our athletes, I come from Rift Valley, whereby majority of our athletes, previously, they could even die, they could even come, the money they have earned could destroy them. So, when the enlightenment about money came in, a lot of associations and groups started that could train athletes on financial management. And that is why of late, I don't think you've heard of an athlete who has misbehaved, who has killed someone, who has died, except but a few. Because they have understood that, yes, you can have 10 million, but now this is what you need to do. This is how you handle money. You know, when you don't have money, you always have very good ideas. Brilliant. You always have all
Ndafungua duka boutique ndajenga.
In fact, wanaanzianga nitatenga fungu la 10.
Hiyo ingie kwa kanisa kwanza.
But when the money comes, there is a way that money speaks to someone's mind. And immediately someone forgets their agenda. They forget that good plan that they had. But now when you are financially and mentally empowered, you will be able to know that, yes, I have 10 million. How much is the cost of this building? You will be told it needs $1 billion. And then you ask yourself, so what's my 10 million? Let me go and do something meaningful with my money. And then, of course, exposure. Like each time I go, I always ensure that I tell the youths that get out. Get out of your comfort zone. If you are born in Thika, don't live Thika the whole of your life. Some of us, what assisted us is coming out. You know, we always say that we came for tulikuja na basi, Nairobi. Majority of us. It means we were not born here. Some of us have gone even to go to outside countries. Been to America, I've been to the UK, I've been to many countries around the world, right? That is one of the things that opens someone's mind. When you just get yourself exposed out of where you are, that comfort zone, get out, see how other people are doing things. It really helps the young people to open up their minds, and they'll know that the world is big enough and we can still be able to get something out of life.
Yes, Sophie. I honestly tend to think when you say that it's a person, it's, you know, I'm sorry, and I don't know if I've gotten you wrong, but I think he's simply trying to say it should be your personal initiative to move yourself, to empower yourself, to expose yourself, to grow yourself. How many of us have done all those things and we are still in the same place we were 10 years ago, if not worse, because we are older? The problem is the system. The system has been designed to consistently disenfranchise you. Let me ask you, we live in a nation where 80% of our land is arable, but Kenya has 30-something million people who are not eating a healthy diet. In terms of the region that we are in, Kenya ranks lower than Uganda and Tanzania in terms of food security and balanced diet. As a matter of fact, World Bank is even reporting that adults in sub-Saharan Africa, including Kenya, are constantly becoming shorter. Like, by the time umemaliza kugrow, you were supposed to be taller because stunted growth is a thing. We are not able
because
to
of
eat
our
healthy.
nutrition.
Yes, but not that we do not have the land and the resource to equip our people with food.
Okay.
Because once you have food, then money in your life becomes disposable, right? On top of that, we have a system that constantly chips into our disposable income. So even the little that you could have saved is being come for. Let's even talk about the current Finance Act that ilianza 1st of July, where now they want to tax the dividends of the companies. So mimi kama a business person, if I had kept some money aside to grow my business the next year, to double my shop, to open another branch, the government comes and says, hey, this money you were supposed to give it out as dividends, hujapeana, we are taxing it to a tune of 60% and above, depending on what the commissioner decides. Another thing, the tax incentives that are supposed to keep you moving as a business person, they are working against you. Why aren't young people being given tax reliefs and tax breaks, except those ones who have been given Yota Fund? Apparently, they are being given tax reliefs. Kenya, we do not have we are an oil selling company, or we are a diamond ama a uranium selling company. Kenya is a country, we are actually the hegemony of the entire East Africa, where people are supposed to be bringing their money into our country. They are supposed to be investing. We have Batuk living. I am happy they are living, but they are living.
They're going for training only. Wako bado.
Interesting.
They're not leaving the country.
Look, Rwanda took more money for their tea than us. Why? Because Kenya has decided to put an export levy of 2.28 shillings per kg. For it discourages. Kenya is not even putting effort to standardize the quality of our tea. So people are preferring Rwanda's tea because Rwanda's tea has a consistent quality. It has consistent quality and it is cheaper. So we are not feeding into the systems that are supposed to be giving back to us so that we live dignified quality lives. So it's not my fault. It's my fault as a citizen because I keep on repeating the same monkeys that have been there. They have been beneficiaries of the system. That's why we are pushing for new faces of leadership. Because how do you tell me Kalonzo is going to become our savior? Somebody who has held 7 ministerial positions. Somebody who has been in government for the past 20 years. A beneficiary of the broken system. I would like each and every of these leaders who want to be president to declare their net worth so that you understand that they have benefited from the broken systems. So it's not really our problem. It's not me who hasn't exposed myself. It's not me who's not street smart. No. It's so sad. Unaona mtu ako na masters na ni makanga. Unaona mtu ako na masters na anapolishia watu viatu. So what are they supposed to tell mtu ako form 4 sahi? So my education is the key to success. No. If we are not intentional about taking a radical shift in the way this country is being run, in the next 5, angalia tu hata the way CBC is being done. It's creating a generation that will be afraid to call out bad leadership, that will be afraid to speak up, that will
What do you mean?
Kwa nini sisi tunasumbua Ruto? Because the education system that we went through taught us to be critical thinkers.
And you're saying CBC is taking that away?
It's taking that away. It's taking critical thinking away from us. It is taking... Look, you are being told by a teacher, because you are not good in math, you cannot be an engineer. So wewe ukakue sijui nini juu hauko good
kitu ambacho si engineering,
lakini wewe unataka kufanya STEM. So haikupati hiyo opportunity ya kungangana na hiyo math mpaka mwisho ndio ukue critical thinker. Inakwambia bro, this is the easy way out.
Okay.
So it's teaching the upcoming generation that any single time you're faced with hardship, there's always
Look
an
for the easy way out.
Okay. So anytime they will be faced with bad leadership, their first response will be, how am I leaving this country? how will I go to Gulf or how will I go
to Germany or
Thank
whatever.
you. Not stay here and fix here because here is hard.
But there are those who will ngangana with that mathematics.
Us who were brought up by that system that taught you KCSE, by the way, utasoma KM. Hata kama hii itabidi umepambana na
endo kule dimanga yako.
Ingiza mguu ndani ya maji. Nilikuwa Mary Hill. Ingiza miguu ndani ya maji. Usome. You get. So what we are really doing here is taking our country in a really bad direction. But sadly,
yes,
the ones who are going to pay the price for that, it's us. I'll finish by saying the average age of an African politician is 63 years old. The average age of the African population is 20 years old. Why are we handing people who are 63 years and above the decision making of us who are 20 years? Then we have 20 more years to live. Us, we have 63 more years to live. So wakikata miti za imenti forest, sisi ndio tutapitia the effects of the climate change 20 years from now. Understand?
Nakupata.
Yeah.
Paluget, when Sophie was talking about kusumbua Ruto,
I think that's one of the things I really picked.
Because ukasema kwa hivyo mnajua mnasumbua.
Actually,
you feel it's unfair that?
Yeah, no, not even unfair.
Okay.
I've been asking myself, what is it that Ruto has not done?
Ruto has killed young people.
So, Sophie, let me just finish.
What Ruto has not done, what Ruto has failed, and is it really true that Ruto has failed that much, or it is just a generation that we are dealing with that is very, very
what's worse than
peculiar? Because we were in the Uhuru regime, I think, killed more young people than Ruto did, you know. But now, at that moment, when we were doing the River Yala thing, we were seeing in the newspapers and all that, I think if we agree, we are having a generational problem. There has been a leadership problem since the time of President Kenyatta, the first.
Kenyatta 1.
Yeah, even the Kenyatta 2, Kibaki, you know, post-election violence and all that. Many people have been killed. It is just that each time when it comes to a certain person, we shout the loudest, which is also...
Wait, come again.
So,
I didn't get that last sentence.
When it comes to a certain politician or a certain politician from a different region, we always shout the loudest. Yes. Now, for example, when the presidency goes to somewhere else, you will hear that people are more calm. Because during the Uhuru's regime, as much as so many people died and were buried in River Yala and all that, nobody made such noise.
I was hoping that you wouldn't go there.
I know, right?
And let me finish. Allow me to finish. Because at the end of the day, it is my personal opinion. At the end of the day, we do not justify killings. I do not justify killings, and I do not advocate for any end of life for anyone. Be it extrajudicial, be it the one family one and all that. But if we go forward, we must be able to raise a society whereby we understand how the systems work. If you kill someone today, there is the rule of law. No regime or no government should kill anyone. If I kill someone and she kills someone, it should be treated equally. Am I clear on that? That at the end of the day, there are people who are rotting in jail just because they are poor. They killed someone, but they are poor. They have been given life imprisonment. Someone kills someone because they are from a wealthy background. You will hear that their case went, and that is it.
But I have a question to get.
On that note, allow me to make it very clear.
Yes.
That as much as I'll also want to even vie for presidency someday.
Yeah.
And I'll want to be accountable for everything that happens during my regime.
Okay.
I think every president should be accountable for that.
Swali. So let's say Hanifa kills 17 people.
God forbid.
Of course. It's
haram.
Very much so. 17 people. Then I also come from her community and I kill one person. So no one should make noise until we are now equal at 17. So now we can say, hey.
I think don't misunderstand.
Because that's what I understood.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
And mind you, I'm not saying
life
that
is important.
The president has killed anyone, and I'm not saying the other president killed anyone.
Not one life.
People are complaining on those particular issues, on those particular terms.
Not one life. One life, 20, 100, it doesn't matter.
They're
a
very
life
important.
is life.
Can I ask
It must be protected by all.
Yeah.
Means that is why we have the constitution, protecting the right to life.
So this generation,
so it doesn't matter.
This generation
who kills how many.
That is currently pointing fingers at the president and at the government.
The president,
calling him all manner of names.
Going back to where we started, whereby we said wanasumbua Ruto.
Can I say then you comment pamoja?
Yes.
Do you remember on the inauguration day, one of the promises that he made was in 100 days he will end extrajudicial killings and he will have a committee that will give a report on the extent of state capture. Please comment.
So let me finish with what I felt like it was really important.
Yeah.
Because I'll want to respect every presidential candidate, whether from my tribe or any other tribe. And going forward, if we have to build a society that is really reformed, then we must walk the talk. If you say you are going to end extrajudicial killings and then you continue with it, nobody will support you.
Yes.
I'll not even support you because you're from my community. Because extrajudicial killings is unacceptable by all standards. So I'm not saying, and I'm supporting anyone, I'm not supporting the president or the regime to kill anyone, because it is illegal and it's against human rights to kill anyone.
So what did you mean by he's been perhaps
from that region? Yeah.
Because he's Akale.
Each time, I remember when Moi was the president, immediately he got into power, there was a lot of noise. We call it noise politically. When Ruto came into power, there was a lot of noise. When anything happens, we have been built to see the bad things and hear nothing good. So what I am advocating to the youths, to the young people, is as much as we may want to be one term, as much as we may want to end the regime, it must go and all that, let us exercise it through the constitution in the right way, in the right manner, without harming or affecting someone else. The government, on the other hand, must protect life. It must protect those demonstrating. It must protect everyone, irrespective of their beliefs and their and how they view things.
Muhesha, amejibu swali yako before we do closing remarks.
I don't think amenijibu because alianza na kusema I don't understand what is it that amefanya mbaya hivyo. Ndio maana hatumshukishi.
Kumshuka, anashuka kikatiba. Ashuki kwa sababu wewe umesema anashuka. Hata ukishauta hadi juu, you must exercise that on the ballot. And you must respect the rights of other people.
Oh, hiyo ndio kumsumbua.
Yeah, to be heard, to talk.
But protesting is a constitutional right.
But now, when you're picketing, your right does not supersede someone else's right. If you picket and I close my shop, my children will go hungry. While yours, yes, you have exercised your right. But now, let's exercise our rights while protecting the rights of others. Because when you are demonstrating, it doesn't mean I'm not also pressed, but I have to open up my shop as well. Or else, my own children will go hungry and they will not understand that.
Don't you think the tax measures that are being put will kill your business even more than you closing your shop?
We need to do it properly. Just do it properly. I've also been demonstrating. We must just do it properly.
I think it's been done properly, peacefully.
Yes, if it's peaceful, then there should be no tear gas, there should be no noise, and at the end of the day, we must as well
who is making it chaotic?
We must as well recognize what the government has done. For example, the government of William Ruto has done quite of its own things during its own regime. Just like I'll recognize what Uhuru did and Kibaki did, including even building the Thika superhighway. So before that, when we bring in the new changes, or when we say now we want to bring the one term into government, because actually the person who is shouting outside is because they want to get in. When they get in, they become lame. But now when you are outside and you are shouting, it's very easy. And now we're given a continue, it becomes something else. But at the end of the day, we must understand the role of the government. The government must exist, or else we'll turn the country into a Somalia, into a Libya, and we'll lose everything. So as we do all those things that we do, as we demonstrate, as we castigate, as we shout, we must know that for us to exist, there must exist a government. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. But the existence of the government first.
It doesn't matter.
But who does the government serve?
The existence
That
of the
is what
government.
Atuoli said.
The existence of a government first is very, very important because that is the unit that we can reform.
Who is it
we
supposed
can
to
say
serve?
now. We can say now. Please make this better. Improve on this, and then the leadership must listen.
Let me ask
That
you
is very
something.
important. The leadership must listen.
Let me ask you something, Paluget.
Yes.
Have you lost a family member, whether it's through disease, whether they were in a
I think
car crash?
I think I've lost nearly majority of my. I've lost my mother. I've lost my grandmother. I've lost quite a.
Do you see that pain that you felt
Yes.
when they were lost? Imagine someone experiencing that pain because their son, daughter, mother, father was shot because of saying whether one term or two
It
term.
is really painful because I'm imagining if
It
it was
actually
my
began
brother.
with the finance bill.
I'm imagining if it was my sister, my friend.
Sasa
You will see
hapo-
fire.
hapo sasa ndio Wakenya wamekasirikia.
So
Yeah.
when such happens, the government must own to its mistake.
Yeah.
The president must apologize, and it should not happen.
Apologize
Aya,
for killing.
sometimes you know, you give someone the authority to deliver something. Like the case I was hearing, the one for this guy that was killed in the police station. According to what it was said, they said salamie kidogo, right?
Kidogo
Discipline him a
saya
little
kosa
bit.
uni.
Yes, discipline him a little bit, and then the person who hears that, kama amesikia, enda maliza, right? It is so absurd that at the end of the day we still encounter such things in this generation. It must end. It is sad. You know, we are talking. What about if it was your brother? What about if it was your uncle? What
Also,
about if
I
it was
don't. I
something-
think
someone
we should
related to you?
collectively just care
So,
about human rights,
yes,
whether or not they are your sister,
exactly.
your brother.
It does not matter because at the end of the day, the life of a person is important, whether you are related or not. But now, when you're related, it's more painful and it's quite absurd that even those people who participated in such things, they're still in office, right? So, the government must listen. We cannot chase away the government. It has a term limit, right?
Okay.
As they finish their term, let them listen, let them reform, let them make things better. Otherwise, it will be hard for them to say extend for us power when all these things are not
Actually, the reason I
are
was
not
asking you
resolved.
all these questions was just to see I'm looking for the right word. I wanted to understand that you understand why people are probably chanting one term.
Yes, I do.
You understand
Yes,
that?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And where it stemmed from.
And I
because I
believe-
think angetoa hiyo bill
And
to
I
begin
believe
with.
the president is aware. The only thing that we hope that he does is he does the right thing. Like the way he did squash the previous finance bill, he should do the same.
No, but
He should-
Ishungwa said it. No, Ishungwa said it came in 4 pieces.
He should,
To the back
he
door.
should make things better for the common mwananchi. We are business people. Sometimes it's really difficult. As much as, you know, I always say, challenges of business, challenges of life, they do not see tribe. They do not subscribe to religion. They do not subscribe to color. It hits all of us. If it is poverty, if it is disease, it hits all of us. So when we talk about SHA, it must work, right? Because at the end of the day, sickness does not choose a region. It does not say that SHA works here, it doesn't work. It must work for everyone because the challenges that we face, they hit across.
Okay.
And the government must work to ensure that we get proper solutions. That is why it's there.
Maybe you can tell us, Sophie, what you plan to do for the people of Thika Township as your part of your parting shot.
I plan to be an accessible leader, first of all, because we do not see our MCA. He only comes and he wants to kusema venye sasa natujengea kabarabara, anakuja na kakofia ka engineer. So number 1, nitakuwa accessible. Number 2 is to care for our environment, and through that we will create jobs for young people through that. I also promise to be, because my role really as an MCA is to legislate and to oversight the governor. So I will use this kelele yenye ninapiga sahi hapa nje venye anasema tuko nje tuko na kelele. Sasa tutapeleka hii kelele huko kwa county assembly.
Yes.
The governor that's going to come next has to work for the people of Thika Township Ward. Mr. Huyo MCA wakupewa 2000 ni nyamaza. Hapana.
Kama wanakupatia 100,000.
Hapana, hawanipei kitu.
Okay.
Ni ufanye what you are supposed to do, ama I will bring the entire Thika Township Ward to your doorstep at the county assembly. Because we are not going to take anything other than what somebody is supposed to do.
Okay.
I'd also like to tell young people that there is no way we are going to give other solutions to political problems. Political problems need political solutions. So it's about time for us to throw ourselves full force into this political arena, so that even when people are looking for alternatives, we are providing ourselves as the alternative leadership in place. And our party, People's Renaissance Movement Party, is founded on young people and progressive ideologies. Actually, Mwalimu Ruben recently joined our party. So we are attracting all the progressive voices, and on 11th of August, watu wakuja hapo Ngong Road, we celebrate the beginning of a people's movement that, like he is saying, will take this government home the correct way through the ballot. And we just want to birth a new nation of dignity where love exists and collective growth can exist. And that is why we are pushing for economic solutions to the problems that we are going through now. Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Innocent, kuna jamaa anaitwa Ferdinand 101 ameniambia nikuulize. Ask Innocent to tell us about his company. Umesema kuna kampuni?
Yes, I said I'm a businessman.
Yes. This person wants to know more about your company. Siji kama ni mtu wa Cherangani, maybe anataka.
Ni Facebook or YouTube?
Ni Twitter actually.
I will get back to him on that.
Okay.
My closing remarks, very, very important. Said that I believe in an empowered people, an empowered nation, and the empowerment must start with them in the mind before even we reach the level of the government and all that. We need to rescue whatever is remaining so that we at least we get somewhere. So we are having a very important event called the Cherangani Youth Summit, Youth Empowerment Summit.
Yes.
Whereby we are bringing the people of the entire constituency, or the young people, the youths of Cherangani. We want them to come together into one place so that we can talk to them, so that we can churn our way. What do we do concerning all these issues to do with leadership? You know, leadership actually is local. It starts from the MCA all the way to the presidency. So all those leaderships are government. So we are coming together to talk matters related with the leadership. We are coming to talk on matters related with empowerment. We have been marginalized. We have been used as goons, because the most people who suffer in politics and all that are the youths,
young people,
the young people of this country. So we must come together, we talk, and we are starting from there. We'll do a county one, and even we'll do a national one, whereby we want to bring all the youths into one fold, so that we cannot be used politically, but be enlightened, that we can be able to come together, solve our own issues, come together, change even the leadership, and even have better leaders from the grassroots. That is what I said. For me, I don't believe like let's do 1 term or 2 term or whatever, but let us first of all clean from down. Because at the end of the day, if we come together, nobody will be able to use us. Thank you so much for your invitation. It's been an amazing show.
Karibu sana.
I hope to see you again.
Nikupe homework.
Nipatie homework.
Convince Hanifa vai.
Tigani.
Wanaweza pata. In Nairobi aseme tu anything MCA.
Nipeni nominated MP.
Sawa.
Ati
tukupatie
nominated MP.
Akina Renesa za kupatie.
Wapeleke mbio. Kwa hiyo pale.
That's also a plan.
Unataka vya bure?
Sina 30 million bwana.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul.
Radio Generation. 88 Generation. 88 AFM.
This is Radio Generation, your one-stop shop for your hip-hop hits.